a little bit about media, and we're talking a little bit about how media portrays different things,
Yeah.
and how it can kind of things can be portrayed on uh, like for instance, I'll give an example of the BLM movement. A lot of people, even myself, before I did any research, it would seem like this is a violent movement. It would seem like half of it like was okay, but then there was other half where it was just complete violence and just looting and everywhere. And so you can kind of see there, it's like it's it would look very divided or look like it was sending a message of violence. Um, when it comes to the anti-lockdown movement or these different gun movements, do you feel that they are represented accurately, or they are and they're done
Misrepresented.
in media in that way? Like, are they done in an accurate way that actually portrays the movement itself, or are they just like the BLM movement, just leaving pieces of it out and just only highlighting certain sections?
Well, the BLM movement is quite big, right? The
Hmm.
BLM movement is much, much, much bigger and is much, much more diverse, especially this last summer, right? You know, that was what changed this last summer, is that a lot of people from all across society joined in the protests. The anti-lockdown protests are pretty small in comparison. And I I I'm not sure I can answer your question really, I'll be honest with you.
Hmm.
But I would just say, you know, I mean, so many of them turned out to, if not violent, they were threatening violence. I think the
Hmm.
threat of violence was a lot more prevalent, you know. Um, but I think that the anti-lockdown groups were more uniform, right? They were smaller,
Hmm.
more uniform, more homogeneous, right? They were extremely angry, you know, these lower middle class white folk, you know.
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I guess my argument is I would just say and the Black Lives Matters movement was so sprawling and diverse that I think there it's easy to understand that it would be misinterpreted, because you can get a glimpse here and a glimpse there, but to capture the whole thing fairly is
Yes.
difficult. But the lockdown protests were smaller, so I think there is, I've heard less people complain about the portrayal of them. I think,
Hmm.
we understood that we were getting a better glimpse of what was going on there.
Hmm. So you'd say it was fairly accurate in
I think
the
so.
portrayal.
That's a way of putting it. Sure. Yeah.
Hmm.